Hi, welcome back. I'm Kirsten with JK Fiber Arts, and we are on stage 8 of the 2024 TDF Tour de Fleece. And today I have a bat that I have created. This is the Misty Morning. I have this in the fractal bat kit. Actually, you know what? I take it back. I don't. I think I sold out. But I took this and I just made it into a bat. And I blended it all together, and it is absolutely luxurious. It's a big honker 5-ounce bat. So we are going to spin this. So we're going to do woolen prep, woolen spin. And I love this. It's like divine. This is Coriadel, Polworth, Yak, Silk, and 18 micron merino. So it is absolutely divine. I cannot wait to get this on the wheel. This is one where you wish you had touch-o-vision. Let's get started. What I've decided to do is to keep things as similar as possible when we compare a final yarn. I'm going to spin this bat. I just stripped it into 3 chunks vertically, just like I'm preparing top. So I'm going to spin this in for a 3-ply, and I am going to keep my single at the 16 WPI so that it's the same as the finished yarn we saw yesterday, and we'll be able to compare the 2 yarns together in a couple days. We'll be able to compare the 2 yarns together when everything's finished. Isn't this gorgeous? In my usual fashion, I wanted to start this last night, but I wasn't in the mood to set up the whole videoing thing, plus the lighting's not as good. But here we have the first bobbin. Oh, I do love this. I am loving this color. It is such a beautiful natural color with just little peeps of yellow and blue in there. So let's get going. And what I've been doing is I'm doing this on the larger of the regular whirl. And I am just going to tear a strip off of here. And it doesn't really matter how big, I'm just tearing a, I don't know, random size strip off. It doesn't matter because we're gonna just keep spinning it in strips. And in fact, I'll probably just cut this one in half and throw that over on my table, and we'll get to it in a minute. Just for ease of holding on to things. Long draw is a woolen spin, and a woolen spin allows more air into the fiber, and it gives you a loftier, warmer, lighter yarn that will just be more airy. So here is my 16, and I'm right in that notch, 16. Let's see what we do with the ply back here. And here is our ply back test. It can probably do with literally a skosh more, but not much twist on that. Let's see if we just do a tiny bit more. Okay. There we go. And you can see, because it's so lofty, just that tiny bit more twist, and it got a lot thinner. Did you notice the difference there? But I like this twist. I think that is going to be lovely. Make sure that when I compressed it a little bit, we're still at 16, and we still are. All right, so now we have the woolen spin. So long draw. And long draw is simply you draw back with your back hand. The front hand is doing a little bit of guiding. It's not pulling or shoveling or anything. What it's doing is giving you a little bit of tension to pull against if you need it. This is so soft and so easy to draw that it doesn't really need to do much of anything. Long draw does lend itself to being spun thin, but you can do a thicker long draw. And the way you do that is by allowing bigger bits of the fiber to come off. And I'd let just a little bit of that twist. I'm not up into the drafting trot, so you note I am not up in the drafting triangle here. See, this still will draft very easily. But I let some of that twist come up in there just a little bit, and I can hold just a touch of pressure with my front hand to pull against, because if I have my draw set fairly loose, which I try to always do the loosest I can, and I try to pull against this, sometimes you'll pull this back like that, and if it's set really low. So just something to be aware of. That's what the right hand helps with too. So I'm letting some of that twist in there, but not a ton. And then we're just gonna start drawing back. And again, the long draw, and I'm doing this kind of slow so you guys can see it, you don't have to draw it 90 miles back. I mean, just drawing it back this far is still still doing you know, a woolen spin. So anytime you're going backwards. And a lot of times I spin with a short backwards draw. So the things that I think like to be spun woolen are from the fold, loves to be woolen. I find it lovely to spin rollags, also woolen. Let's see what we get here. I think I might have let this one get a little too thick. It's a little beefy. I think it's a little more than the 16. See what we get here. You can see the difference. Yeah, this is, if I was doing this 2-ply though, I would love this one. But for 3-ply, we might be getting into a little bit of a chunkier weight here. But look at that. Oh, it's so airy and light and fluffy and soft. So I'm gonna go a little bit thinner, which just means I'm gonna pull back a little bit faster. And then as I'm doing that, when it gets to where I want it to go, I just let it go onto the wheel when I think I have it where I want it. And I think that other one maybe was a bit thin, I just let roll on there. My draw might be a little too tight. I'm gonna just lower it just a touch here for this. I think that's a little better. Let's check it. This down here is good. This is a little thick. So if I want to spin, so let's get that little lump there. So now I'm pulling back, but my draw is now so low that when I pull back, I'm actually pulling my bobbin. So that is why my right hand is here, so that it's just giving me a little something to pull back against is all. Well, that's perfect. I love that. I think that's the perfect 16 we're looking for. Yep, so that's what we're going for every time. I love it. That is what we want. Look at that. Oh, I love it. It's so good. And I'm just going to keep on doing my long draw here. You can get it back as far as you can go, but the thing is, the further back you go, usually the thinner it's going to get, or you're going to end up with too much twist in the front. So if you're really going thin, it works. It's very, very good long draw for super thin. All right, now I'm just going to pick up my other piece that I set off to the side here, and we're going to keep going. Oh, and on the long draw is a good time for me to practice that new to me join. I should have done that. I don't think too. Next time. So here we go. I'm going to try to just get this back as far as I can get it. And then let that run on. You can keep going way up there. But if you notice, the farther back I went, let me pull this out, the thinner it was getting, because this was a 16, and then here we are a little thinner than a 16. Now we're kind of 16, and then up here we're like, ooh, wait, what happened there? Now this is like a 32. So that part there got very, very thin. And I don't want it that thin, so we're not gonna let that one go on board. We're gonna get rid of it. All right, it's a good time to practice the new join here. New to me join. I keep saying new join. It's not a new join. It's just the new to me join. And so the way you're supposed to do it is you're supposed to just do it like you're doing a almost like a core ply, and you just start perpendicular and then you just let it catch on. Actually, that was a better one than I did before. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think I will eventually get the hang of it and start using it. So in order for me to keep my 16, I don't want to draw back as far as I just showed you, but you can pull it back as far as you want. If you want to do like for sock spinning, so I'll probably do some long draw coming up because I have a sock spin that I'm going to do for TDF, and that is going to take me a few days to do because I'm going to spin it very thin. And what I'm going to do is probably do that one long draw because I just love long draw for socks, and because it's superwash merino, and it's the other one is merino and mohair. I think it's going to look really good with long draw, and it's not going to compromise the wear of the sock much with those mohair locks in there, and it being superwash, of course, doesn't compromise it at all. So I think that'll be really cool. So we'll do that coming up. Oh, look at that. I just love it. See right there, super awesome. What else is happening here? It's still really, really hot. It's like crazy hot. Yesterday the heat index was 109, so I stayed inside for most of it. I took the dog for a walk at like 11:30 last night, waiting until it was like as cool as it could possibly be before I went to bed, and it was still so hot outside. It was crazy hot. And today it was already 80 by 9 o'clock this morning. It was ridiculous. So I am not excited about the weather. And we're supposed to go to the beach this coming weekend. Well, I guess it's next weekend now. Today's Saturday. And it's supposed to be like 90 and 50% chance of rain. So it's going to be basically just like it is here. I'm just like, look at that blue coming through and the brown. I love it. It looks so good. I can't wait to show you the difference in these two when we get to the end, the woolen and the worsted spin. And then you can keep in mind what you want to use when, what type of spinning technique you want to use with the fiber that you have. And oftentimes that'll have a lot to do with what you want it to be at the end. If you have a project that you're going to be doing where you want it to wear a certain way, or you want it to be more sturdy, or you don't mind if it has some halo, it's not you're not worried about it wearing out. Hats I usually can spin anyway, that I want, because they don't really rub on a lot of stuff and they don't wear out very easily. I hope you're having a great TDF. I will see you guys tomorrow with the ply and compare and contrast of the Woolen Prep worsted spin and Woolen Prep woolen spin yarns. Until next time, spin happy.